So what is going on, crypto people? We had some key news events happen this week, which has been affecting volatility like crazy. On top of that, we have been seeing some massive sweeps, not only on the longs in the market, but also the shorts, pretty much showing that market makers are manipulating the crap out of the markets. On top of that, there's expectations on deviations approaching the FOMC meeting that is happening already next week. And in today's video, I want to walk you through the heat map that we're currently seeing in terms of price action, where liquidity is shifting. On top of that, what everyone is expecting moving into next week, and everything you need to be aware of. So with all that being said, let's go and jump straight into the price action, the news events, and everything you need to be aware of. So overall, markets have been seeing a dump today. And yesterday, I literally talked about it in my video, how I was expecting a deviation to 89,000 and potentially start to see a little bit of a pump. And that is currently what we have been seeing today. Bitcoin crashed quite significantly on the daily time frame. I'm doing a little bit of charting right here, currently longing on the market, waiting to see exactly if we're going to be hitting this specific trend line that I hit. But overall, we deviated quite significantly today, and now we're on the verge of seeing a little bit of a correction. Or are we still going to be deviating in terms of the daily time frame and the trend lines that we have been watching? Now, Ethereum is also doing the same price action around Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin is pretty much, chopping sideways, waiting to see what it's going to do, Ethereum is also pretty much mirroring the price action around Bitcoin. So right now, I'm expecting that we're still going to be seeing sideways price action moving into the FOMC meeting, and more than likely, we're going to be seeing a lot of sell-offs in the market as well. Now, how are altcoins pretty much moving right now? Well, they're moving the same way that Ethereum is moving, just in a more drastic case. And we know this: if Ethereum drops 2 to 3%, altcoins fall 20 to 30%. So right now, altcoins are waiting for the move that Ethereum is going to be doing. Now, Bitcoin dominance is one of the main indicators that lets us know if liquidity is mainly in Bitcoin, or if we're starting to see a shift into altcoins and Ethereum. Right now, we are starting to see the breakdown for Bitcoin dominance on a gradual scale if we look at a long-term perspective. But at the end of it all, we need to see exactly gradual moves, not just some slight indications. And right now, that's all we're seeing. Now, in terms of the liquidation map, guys, this is one of the biggest things that lets us know exactly where liquidity is shifting, and overall, where more than likely we're probably going to be headed in the next few days, weeks. Now, I do have the liquidity map at 0.1%, so I'm giving you more of a day-to-day price action movement as opposed to a swing move. But based off of what I was seeing, we squeezed out a lot of the liquidations that we were seeing in that 88K region after we touched that zone, and now we have been gradually increasing, which makes me think that we're going to be hitting 90,000 before getting rejected. Could I be wrong? Potentially, but yesterday I wasn't. So, what am I going to say about that? I feel pretty confident. Now, moving into exactly the key news events, this happens on a week-to-week basis. I try to keep y'all updated on when this data comes out and how to anticipate it, but this has been super important because this is going to be leading into the FOMC meeting tomorrow, which is going to be, not tomorrow, moving into next week, which is going to be determining rate cuts, which is super, super important. This dives into the perspectives around the markets and how right now a lot of individuals have been seeing dumps in the market, and we're still expecting more deviations approaching the FOMC meeting. Now, liquidation map is showing us a macro lens. I'm gonna keep y'all updated on this tomorrow. I have an update on Saturday to let you know what happened closing out the day. Now, moving into the news events, this is the things that I try to keep you updated on a week-to-week basis. Please keep up with these news events because they have a huge effect on price action. If you aren't keeping up with this, then you aren't, expecting the anticipation about rate cuts and decisions and the percentages and all that stuff. So try to keep up with the day-to-day events. Now, Ted had a great post talking about exactly how the MMs, the market makers, are having fun right now, and how liquidated greedy longs pretty much took place first, and now late shorts also got wiped out on a small upward move. So right now, people that weren't anticipating how the market was moving, they liquidated the greedy longs that were anticipating we're just going to shoot up, which is complete bullcrap. We're not just going to shoot up out of nowhere. And then these shorts that pretty much got in late, and as a result of this little pump that we've been seeing, they got squeezed out. So the heat map is super, super important. This is why I try to show it to y'all on a day-to-day basis. But right now, Ted is pretty much indicating that, everything is really due to manipulation and how everyone is getting wrecked if you're not keeping up with proper price action. I'm not getting wrecked. Hope you're not getting wrecked either. Now, Killa is giving us a long-term perspective around Bitcoin and pretty much what to expect approaching the FOMC meeting moving into next week. This is super important because every time we've approached an FOMC meeting, we usually see massive deviations because it's a classic buy the rumor, sell the news kind of event. I talked about it yesterday. I'm gonna keep talking about it. Now let's jump straight into it. He said we saw a positive reaction around the fourth pivot. Price pushed up, created a bullish narrative, and then reversed, resulting in a 5% drop. The next pivot to watch is December 10th to 11th. Over the past 4 pivots, all around FOMC events, Bitcoin has consistently seen a 5 to 7% decline afterward. If that pattern repeats, you could expect a similar 5 to 7% pullback following the December 10th and 11th window. Of course, this correlation won't hold forever, and this time we may just as easily form a bottom instead of a top. I'll keep you updated as we get closer to the period, says Killa. Now, this is a great post because we anticipate price action based off of previous moves, but Bitcoin is getting to that point where potentially we are bottoming out. And if we're bottoming out, then we could be seeing a gradual move. And this is why he is saying exactly that potentially we could be seeing a different move. So this is super important. As I said, I'm gonna keep you updated as we keep on progressing. Dr. Profit has been the massive bear in the market, talking about how we are seeing massive deviations and everyone is gonna get freaking wrecked because everyone thinks we're still in a bull market when in reality we are not. Which I think altcoins are still going to get the liquidity that they need, but people like him are very, very bullish on the market. Now, he goes on to say, Bitcoin, and notice how he's talking about Bitcoin, not altcoins. He says the bottom for Bitcoin is not in, and it won't be in either in the next weeks or months, which is why we're anticipating a huge deviation for Bitcoin moving into more than likely Q2 or Q3 of 2026. Now he says we are in a bear market and it will last at least until September 2026, literally moving into Q3. And then he says continue to hold my short position, which he has from 120K, and continue to accumulate more cash to buy the real bottom after the crash. So this is something that I'm gonna wanna position myself around significantly. And I'm gonna show all of y'all how to do it as well because I day trade on a consistent basis. So whenever I'm shorting the hell out of Bitcoin, I'm gonna be telling all of y'all, hey, if you wanna make some money, short Bitcoin, not financial advice. Now, at the end of it all, we try to give bullish perspectives around what's gonna be happening, but even in altcoin investors that are super bullish, like Crypto Mitch now, he literally is talking about how more than likely we're gonna be seeing deviations. He says, be reminded that we're going to have a FOMC meeting next week. That event in itself provides a cautious approach on almost all occasions. So what does that mean? He says Bitcoin and altcoin markets tend to go risk off prior to the event in anticipation of potential hawkish tone of Powell. Wouldn't suggest otherwise this time. So this is gonna be potentially super bullish for Bitcoin moving into the FOMC meeting. I'm sure in a YouTube video. So. Oh, shit. Nah, you good. That's it. I can grab the bag if you want me to grab it. There. Yeah. No. No. Bed. 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 So with that being said, even altcoin investors are expecting that we're going to be seeing deviations. So please, if you are expecting that everything is just going to pump, take it with a grain of salt. Snap back to reality, y'all, okay? That's all I have to say about that. Now, markets are just trading sideways right now. They're deviating because we saw some massive pumps in the market and moving into the FOMC meeting tomorrow. Why do I keep saying tomorrow? Moving into next week is going to be having a huge effect on price action, which is why a lot of people are positioning themselves right now. Moving into the weekend, more than likely, we're going to be seeing sideways price action because market movers are not playing on the weekend. That's just how it goes. So overall, altcoin investors are just waiting. And right now, all eyes are on the FOMC meeting. So with all that being said, that is currently what is happening in the markets. We have some key news events that happen on a week-to-week basis, and I try to keep you updated. I show you this on Sunday morning so that you know what to expect moving into the next week. Next week, we have the FOMC meeting, so that's going to be causing a lot of volatility, which is why a lot of people are already anticipating we're going to be seeing massive deviations and pumps approaching the FOMC meeting, a classic buy the rumor, sell the news kind of event. And this is where I try to keep you updated on the news events and everything that's going on. In yesterday's video, I literally said we're going to be dumping to around 89K, sweeping out all of those potential longs that are trying to get into the market, and also now potentially the shorts as well that we've been seeing. So now it's a matter of time to see exactly what's actually going to be happening. And as we keep progressing, I'm going to keep you updated on everything that is going on. So if you're new to my channel, please go check out the rest of my content. I try to keep you updated on the day-to-day events, price action around Bitcoin, Ethereum, altcoins, how liquidity is shifting, and everything you need to be aware of. Please position yourself correctly. Keep up with this stuff. The more that you learn, the better off you're gonna be. And on this channel, I'm planning to create individuals that can actually separate themselves from other people in the market. So please, share the channel, try to learn from what I'm trying to tell you, and dissect everything that you do not understand in this video. All right, I appreciate y'all. I gotta go eat. It's lunchtime. Not lunchtime, it's dinner time. I'm all off today for some reason. But overall, I do appreciate it. Do not capitulate your bags. Drop me a comment, like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.